You get to get treated to house cleaning while we're doing this thing tonight.
Well, I heard cops, so I just started shredding.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start vacuuming here.
That's funny because I just started hitting delete.
Oh, I forgot to load the bot here. 1 second. Then we'll get started.
I just saved my paper shredding for the end.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Con los amigos míos que juegan los jueves.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we are, I think we're all live. Yay. We're live. Thursday group is back with a vengeance after weeks. Stop the paper sharing.
Oh, sorry, forgot.
Whatever. All right, folks, let's get started. We are a player shy down, but it won't matter. They're all gonna die anyway. But we're playing Out of the Abyss. Anybody? I don't know if anybody's really watching, since we've been so dead for a while on the channel that people they probably don't even remember me anymore and my channel. So sad. Which might not be a bad thing. Anyway, let's do our introductions, and we'll do our quick recap, since it has been a few weeks, and then get the game moving forward. Dirtless, you're up first.
Dirtless Driftwood, Rock Gnome Wizard, thrower of fireballs. And stop it, virus. I'm gonna fireball the paper.
Exactly. Hondo.
Hondo Bozamek is a mountain dwarf and loyal cleric of Dumathone.
Ruckus.
Ruckus, a mountain dwarf barbarian seeking to tame the Underdark.
Boris.
Varus, a Fearbog druid, happy-go-lucky guy, protector of the forest, and master of the sky.
Paper shredder.
Yes.
Yeah, and paper shredder.
Discovered a paper shredder in the Underdark. Is loving it. And we're missing our lovely bugbear, the rogue, the banjo, swashbuckler rogue. I think he's a swashbuckler, isn't he? I think so.
Yeah,
yes.
he is.
And we'll, unfortunately, our lovely Jackalogical had to step out of the game. So we will be hopefully finding a replacement for him in the weeks to come, since they're getting closer and closer to discovering and putting an end to the evil that has infested the Underdark. And you need a bugbear in these situations. So
I say good riddance. Who needs them?
As you cry away.
Yeah.
So sad. That's bad. All right.
I'm crying on the inside. I'm missing him.
No, I miss him too.
All right. So
like a
from
man.
the last time, the group had finally gotten a lot more clarification and understanding of what was happening in the Underdark, from spending time and truly from the time being spent in Graven Hollow, things began to get clearer and clearer to the group, and the demons that they have run across, and the effects that the demons are causing to the different races down here in the Underdark. Y'all know that it was from a misfired high level of magic that Grumpvanir, or Banir, from a very powerful Drow mage in Minza Baranzan, has partially the cause for all this. And after getting some more visions and understandings of what the demons were doing and who were involved, you were also met by a Drow mage in Graven Hollow who beckoned to the group to come visit him in his tower. Here's what, if you'll remember, he was...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he had a death slod with him. Big, lizard dude that looked like it was his bodyguard. but he gave you the directions and understanding that you were to make your way to Mirage, and to be careful making your way through the worm rings, basically the purple worms area of the Underdark. Be careful there, so you don't get eaten up. That isn't you? So that's what happened. So Janshald got that way. He said meet him there. He had to leave, and y'all were packing it up. I believe y'all went in, checked in with Thanes. Not only with I think the forces that Ruckus had put together and worked out, and all that was happening in the entrance to the Underdark area from up above. And I think y'all also went to Blending Stone, I believe, and checked in there, or we're going to. I can't remember. Honestly, I didn't go back and look and watch.
We checked in like when we came down after we talked to Battlehammer.
Okay. Yeah, y'all were concerned about when y'all saw him, a visage of him in an old man form, but he was quite healthy when you visited him. And, but the purpose was to head on out, and make your way to Araj, where, the Drow wizard Vizeron Devere, makes his home. And we were going to bypass some of the. This is where we didn't get a lot of maps into the. Unfortunately, but y'all made it to. You were going to head out unless there was anything else. We get you to Araj, and you will understand, and that's about it. It's it was a good couple of months journey through the Underdark. With your group, but you also understand that you were making sure where you were going, because you were going to be getting closer and closer also to the great city of Minzo Baranzan. And
we should probably avoid that one.
Yeah, you think you should. But you are successful in your journey, and you will, from the maps and guidance that you believe you see, you will begin to come through the cavern area, and you will see a structure that
awesome.
looks like this.
That's quite nice.
Isn't it kind of cool looking? And it is
so
very
is
dark.
That tower.
This is his home, and he so y'all got your expeditionary forces, so to speak, and you, Durlish, you will, when you're getting closer and closer, you will feel basically somewhat like his presence, his mind, wizard to wizard type, reaching out to you and letting you know, and welcoming you to his home. The area around here, it's pitch black as always. It is the Underdark. But the area around the tower and all that is well suited for the Force to get comfortable, to enjoy it real, it's spread out enough that there's not, you can see definitely down large sections of the tunnels and all that. It's easily defendable, stuff like that. But he lets you know that enough of his wards and alarm systems are up in there, that if anything were to come close at all, he could alert everybody, but that the entourage, the Force, could make their homes and settle in down there, but only the party themselves can come into the tower. And he says, he will send some of his small minions to help, with any of the needs for the Force. And he tells y'all to make your way up the stairwells to the door, and y'all can do that. And there's as you enter there, you will find yourself, it's a very small narrow hallway that you walk into, and this you kind of see before you. It's like an opening, like a round room before you, like an antechamber. It's a little bit of an audience hall. That's all this bottom floor is. But then Dirtus will notice that you see just from the visions, your ability to detect. You can see what looks like magic, some type of aura, is in the middle of the floor, and it kind of like it's waves. If when you're looking at something that's hot and you can see the heat that disturbs, the air in front of you and all that, you can see that, and though it rises straight up, and you kind of peek around a little bit and look up over, and you can see that there's a shaft. It looks like it's a round part of the roof. It just goes straight up, and this wave of energy is going straight up, and there looks to be more floors up above, but you don't see any stairwells, you don't see any ladders, you don't see any type of mechanism that
So I'm
would get
guessing
you.
we stand in the center of the room and the force kind of like elevates us up.
When you think that, you hear somewhat of as a chuckle, and very well, nicely discerned, Master Wizard. Yes, I have a permanent teleportation circle levitation circle that is in the center of the room, and through my allowance, I can step in and grant you the privilege, the ability to come up. And he says, please move into the center of the room and you can come up. He says, I will take you up to the third level where there are guest bedchambers, and you and your companions may put your belongings and enjoy this simple accoutrements that my tower has, and then let us meet up on my fourth floor where my library is at. And he says, just let me know when you are ready to come up, and I will bring you up to the next level.
Do we go up as I'm not asking him this. I'm trying to discern if we go up as a group or if it just looks like a one person up.
Oh, you could, no, a group can go up. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's big enough. Yep.
And if anybody else didn't catch that, I'd relay the information, and I would be cautiously intrigued. My interest is piqued, so I would want to go up. That's why we came here anyways.
Yep.
I go up with you. But I turn myself into another ferret. So I go as a second whistle.
You go as Wooble instead of Wobble?
Yeah, a second wobble.
Is there a map? Did you give us a map?
There is not a map. No.
Right.
Yep. You're just kind of seeing the tower before you. Yeah. So y'all kind of, you're basked in as soon as you step into the area, you kind of like an orb of pale purple violet light kind of wraps around you to some degree. And you rise kind of up you slowly, it's a little disconcerting for a brief moment, but it's a very nice little gradual deal, and it stops, and you are able to, the second level that you go up to, you can tell that it looks like it's a kitchen area. There's some storage compartments in little rooms. Looks like there could have been some servant quarters that you kind of see around here, but there's no activity happening at all. And the kitchen looks like it's got some utensils and other things there. There's nobody at the moment cooking anything. And as you then can slowly rise up again to the third level, you will see definitely what can see is a set of rooms that are bed chambers, and y'all all kind of hover there, and you've stopped moving up. Let me just put it that way, and you're hovered right on the floor level before you.
I guess we'd step out and check out the rooms.
Okay. Yep. And you, as y'all get in there and step out and look at the rooms, you will see, and it was very hidden, but there is actually, you'll see back up against the wall is a small opening, and you will catch, and there actually is a stairwell that looks like it goes downward. Does not go up, but there is actually one that does go down, but it was very well hidden. You think it looks like it, at least it goes down to the second floor. Let's put it that way, from what you see, but it took you coming up this direction to even be able to see it from the chambers where y'all are at. And you've got some rooms in front of you.
Is there enough room for all of us, like our own room?
Oh, there's separate room for each of you. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Very well. They're very modest. You know, simple cots types. You know, a table, a small lantern. There's almost no light except for the purple glow that's giving off from where y'all are at, and it's beginning to fade. And then you'll hear him kind of, and he forgets that a couple of you are unable to see in the dark, and there will be some little light globes that will pop out of just basically small. You thought they were juttings of stone in the wall and all that, but they're actually little scones type deals, and they kind of light up very, very dimly, enough to not be obtrusive, but it gives you enough light to be able to see around and all that. You know, very dim lighting. And he says, just, please rest up, and when your group is ready, Master Wizard, just let me know. All you have to do is just call out for me. Don't all talk at once.
I'll keep my leather armor on, but I'll keep my staff with me, and a lot of my other stuff I'll leave in the room. I guess as a way of showing I'm trusting him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you haven't seen or felt anything so far other than, he's a drow. That anything's amiss at the moment, at least. So, and there's no other movement around either. So, just, you definitely have noticed that also.
Cool. So,
Hi, am I? Didn't even see. I apologize. You're in charge, Dirt. It sounds like wizard to wizard.
well then, if everybody else,
Whistle.
we won't be long. We'll just, put whatever we don't want to carry with us and head up.
Okay. Yeah, and he saying that you could tell that he was definitely waiting, or he responded fairly quickly to your request, and the violet globe begins to form again, and that you can all step up on the Varus, you're killing me, man. Quit it.
What did I do now?
You're moving stuff around. We can hear everything you're doing, man. Sounds like
crap.
an earthquake going on.
Too soon,
Give me
man.
a second.
Too soon.
Jeez, a little sensitivity stuff. God.
Bad karma.
His country gets devastated by an earthquake.
Well,
What?
sorry.
My country? My country
Oh,
didn't
no,
get
it was
hit
a
by
hurricane.
earthquake.
It was a hurricane.
Hurricane, yeah.
Nope, we didn't get hit by a hurricane also.
What
He's
what
not-
natural
Yeah, they-
disaster was it that hit your
Varus, him.
Is he
Yeah.
mommy?
No,
I can relate.
no, they keep missing us. They hit Puerto Rico, they hit Haiti, but we're just in the middle.
Oh man, I thought you had like real bad flooding and like.
Oh yeah, we had some flooding, but not where I live, so
Oh, okay.
it's okay.
I
Anyway,
was going to say, if he didn't get hit by something, CNN's full of shit.
yeah. Trump didn't really go there and throw
Yeah.
toilet paper
Yeah.
rolls at people.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait,
Okay.
I heard he went and peed on all the beds.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I mean he's the
Oh,
president for
God.
the people.
Oh.
So
Oh my God. Here we go. Oh man.
anyway,
Back to the deal. The group steps onto the floating yeah, we're catching it. We're giving Varus a hard time too. Sorry. We'll behave. Sorry. So yes, you step up and he brings you on up to his
do I have to go? Because if you guys are going to be talking about like books and other things, I don't really have an interest in that.
I think you
He's
should
supposed to
go
go-
just in case the death slot shows up.
Yeah,
All
just
right.
go in case this doesn't turn out as friendly as it seems.
Okay.
Yeah.
And bring both of your axes.
Oh, they never leave my side.
Oh man. Okay. So he brings you as you step up and you float on up to go past the 5th level, which you can tell looks like just a couple of shut doors, and then you rise on up to a 6th level, the top level, and you can tell that this looks like some type of sanctum meditative, study area, and you will see the Drow wizard standing back behind a small little desk area. Actually, it's not standing; he's actually sitting on the floor behind it, and he just kind of motions for everybody to please enter to his area, and he will pick himself up slowly off the ground, and he welcomes you, and he thanks you for coming to at least listen to what he has to say, and hopes that with your help and with some of his knowledge, that maybe for once and for all, the evil that has infested the Underdark, that threatens, not only here but will then soon permeate to the overworld, we can put it to rest. And he asked, before he basically kind of feel like he's filling you out a little bit. And Varus, if you really did turn into a ferret, he's looking at you. Again, he kind of chuckles ferret. And he goes, "This is really you're blue. You're not a true. Your master of disguise is failing you, Furbolg Druid. Please
Says you.
change. Yeah. Please, yes,
Who
change.
says that,
change back to your normal form, please." While we have some serious discussions about what is to transpire and take place down here.
Trust me, he's going to contribute more as a ferret.
That is no true. Yes, Vizier says no true words have been spoken, Master Dwarf.
Since I cannot speak, I'm just going to ignore him.
Oh,
he agrees.
Yes, and you will notice then that off to the corner area, you will see the death slod is standing there, very much wasn't moving, and but it blended into the stone, the darkness there, because this creature's big, black, and mean looking, and he's basically staring at the ferret, and you see a tongue kind of every now and then kind of slap around its upper lips and all that. And his hands are grabbing the whole, just kind of slowly, his fingers slowly twitching along his weapons, thinking that he might have a little dinner there before him. And he keeps looking at his master, and the Dro, shakes his head. Viseron, definitely, telling his creature to control himself, but you can see the slides shiver every now and then as this half blue ferret is kind of moving around, So anyway, so like I said, he re-welcomes you to his place, and he goes, I have, yes, a proposition for you, like I said, and a better explanation to what has befell this great landscape of mine and the possibility of against my people and the other races here. And he will let you know that, demons are creatures ruled by madness and hatred. Even the greatest and most powerful of them. They war ceaselessly upon each other in the abyss, and have already begun to do so here, as you have discovered already. We could play them against each other and then deal with the weakened victors, I believe. Like I think you mentioned, and you discovered through the last of the visages that Graven Hollow gave you, that Grumph, cast a ritual that was part of the summoning and the misfire of what's happened here. And I believe that I can devise and cast the same ritual that he did, but not near as dangerous or foolish as Grumph did. And it will, by casting this ritual, pull and summon these demon lords to the summoning circle area. And once they are brought together, I feel that even though the summoning is very powerful and will force them to come here, they won't be able to resist being in each other's presence, the opportunities to battle one another, and they will try to destroy each other. And though they don't, really, physical, the manifestations of them, are destroyed here, that basically banishes them back to the abyss from where they came, once they actually destroy the physical essence of themselves here. And the ones that fail will be gone, and the other ones that are left will have depleted themselves a great deal of their abilities here, that we then can seize upon that opportunity to finish off the ones that were left, those that were sorely weakened, and should be far easier to destroy once we begin the assault on them. But as with always of this great opportunity, there are some great risks, and it is two of the ingredients that I need. I need the group, such as yourself, to retrieve them. Any questions?
So I'm gonna say this with like a intellect of like 18, not what I have. So you want us to we're gonna make a device that lures all the demons here and hope that they fight it out, and then we're gonna beat up who's left over.
Correct. Keen intellect there.
So we're just hoping that they decide to fight each other before they kill us?
Oh, there's no doubt that they have already begun small skirmishes against each other with minions that they've converted down here, in the essence of trying to get to one another. I can promise you with almost complete certainty. However, yes, you have there is the slight chances that I could be wrong, but my time here and my abilities, great that they are, I know that I'm not wrong about this. And unless someone has a better idea, that no one seems to have come up with yet. I think that this is the best way to tackle this deal. I have an understanding and know what Grumpf cast, what he did, and I believe I know and understand where he went wrong with his casting, because it is through his casting why the group is here. So let's use the same casting and the same ritual, but bring them in together back to one another instead of being all spread out, and they will no doubt show their true colors and begin to assault each other. He's almost dead certain that will happen.
Do we know as a group that they've been fighting each other? Or are we just taking his word?
Well, so yes, you do from the previous. So from Graven Hollow, you begin to see that you saw several of the different demons. Remember, since we're sitting here, let me bring those back up because that may help.
We knew
I remember that the
Zuckmoy and
demons fought
Jubilex.
Yes.
But I also know that they have, the counterpart, the demons and the art devils, whatever. But
they're all the same. In this instance, they're one and the same. And that's not the right way to say that, but you're dealing with this. These are basically the Dominion demons. Ones you're dealing, basically the upper echelon of the abyss that you've been seeing. And Zuckmoy, Jubilex are the ones that have been having the most success and have been actually popping one another on and off. You saw the Demogorgon, and he was laying waste to the Kuatoa in that lake area, but he has not really ventured from there. You just kind of saw it. You had Orcus, he was apparently far off dealing with the mind flayers and wreaking havoc with them, and was keeping to himself. And for what's happening here with the forays and basically the control, what it is doing into the races down here and the madness that is driving through each and every one of them, and these different cities, you're dealing with Zuckmoy and Jubilex. And they are the ones that have already started with some of their, minions feeling each other out. They've had, attacking the other races too. I mean, you've seen it. So, yeah.
Those are the only two that he's planning on summoning?
No, he will tell you that the circle, the ritual will summon them all. They will not be able to resist. It is the original one that Gromp did is what brought them all here.
And so that's
the
why
physical
they're here in the first
form.
place.
Yes. Yes. You have now been given exactly the reason why they are here in the physical manifestation. And they continue to grow.
And they're not looking for a way out. They're looking to conquer.
No, they that they've always wanted this world. This has been now, this summoning and what has happened has given them their best shot to stay here. Normally there's been one of them at a time or two, on and off being terrorizing and been banished. Not all of them in this instance. And that's what's caused the forays and the maddening and all that. There's too much of it.
Where is he planning on doing this ritual?
Well, he says that is a good question, and he has several different cavern areas. Part of him wants to take it and do it right in the middle of Menzoberranzan. He will tell you that, there's the one that the circle is there, the original one, that and Hugh will detect. I'll just give it to you as we're having a little fun RPing. When he says that and all that, there is a slight uptick in his mouth of a smirk in his way. In a way he says Marenzo Bronzon and Gromp's name, you're definitely seeing a little acid, is coming there. A little angst comes from him. There's something else there. But he thinks that anywhere, he's got some other cavern there. Yes, you're going to need a large area. There's no doubt about that. And the Underdark has got plenty of places for that. But if he had his way, he'd drop the damn thing right in the middle of Bronze and let them deal with it.
I don't know if I'm willing to go there unless we can find a way in. But what other places does he have?
He'll have a place. The first thing is that they, we have to get. He basically began to say, so yes, what we have to do is complete to power this ritual and to spend the time with it. I have to create something, a talisman that's called the Dark Heart. And it has a unique number of components that is required. And he
so our job is to get these components.
He has some of them.
Okay.
And he will stop and you see him kind of focus through like the 100-mile stare for a second in front of you. And he kind of yells out, "Grin, bring yourself to me immediately, please." He kind of says it out loud. And you hear down, just faintly down a couple of levels from the hole, something like, a cup fall to the ground, something kind of shatters, and you hear door slam, something's down below. And he goes, yes, so there are some, very unique components. I happen to have most of them. There are 6 feathers, and you see on his desk, and he basically, before there was a cover on the desk, kind of like a cloth was covering with tablecloth, but you now notice that there are things under this tablecloth, and he will begin to pull this cloth off, and there are some items underneath there. And you will see he motions to everyone to come up, but he says he will require that everybody at least keep back from 5 feet. And he looks at the purple ferret and he says, "Don't try it, or I will let the slod eat you whole with impunity." But you will see a set of 6 feathers that are of great quality and color of white. And they're quite beautiful. And Hondo, you will kind of step back just a tad, and take a little intake of breath, because you will recognize them as feathers from angels. And they definitely are of different quality makes. So they came from different types of angels, from different celestial beings, so to speak. And then you will see what looks to be 13 mushroom-like looking particles sitting on the table. And he will tell you that these are called the devil's mushrooms. And they are sprouted from the footprint of a Balor. And they are quite complicated to get if you understand and have ever met a Balor, however you want to say it, it took some, they're called tin mask. He will let you know. He also will tell you that he has got, and he will point down, and he's got looks like a little plate, of vial. There's a little glass plate, but it's kind of covered, and it looks like it's a black substance that's in it. And he will tell you that this is demon blood that he was able to retrieve from Menza Bronze and from Loth herself, in part of the uprising there and all that. She had it out with one of the other ones. Trying to think, who was it that the sundered blades. Another one of the Durgar. Slowly trying to see where that's at. I'll find it here in a second. But they are able to retrieve some of this blood. And then he says that he goes, I did say that there were 2 pieces I needed, but there are honestly 3. But my apprentice, and when he says that, you will hear a bang from behind the slide, and you will see that he will step kind of to his side a little bit, and it's actually a door sitting there that he's kind of, was masking, and the door will kind of slide open, and the stairwell's there, and you will see another meekly looking male drow that's in a simple apprentice clothes type, and he will introduce, this is Grin, my apprentice. Very, very clever troublemaker he is, but like myself, outlawed from our home of Menza Bronzan. And when he says that, he kind of catches himself that, he didn't mean to say outlawed, but, but this, creature of mine, and, Grin kind of looks down a little bit, knows and will be able to actually go and fetch me Gromp Benir's grimoire and notes on the ritual. And it is his job and his only solitary task to continue living on this planet is to be of good use to me and this task before us. And he is preparing himself to head back and infiltrate Menza Bronzan and retrieve that particular task, the grimoire itself. He knows how to get to it, and he will bring that back to us. Your task.
How long are you expecting that to take?
Well, Menzo Bronzan's only about 10 days away from where you're at right now. And so he says, with all due respect, I can get him there fairly quickly with the casting, but only to a certain spot before any of the wards that guard the outer, sectors of the city would be able to detect. And then it will be his job to get in and out.
And the grimoire is the third item that you were speaking of?
Yeah, an item that believe he's already got it tasked out. It's the other 2 that he looks to you and the group and says, the pieces that are missing are this. And he goes, as you well know, and the warning that I gave you, that you pass through or by the outer reaches of the worm writhings, the great home area of the purple worms. One of the pieces of this talisman that we need to create, I need an intact and unhatched egg of a true purple worm. And the second item is the true central eye of a beholder. There are also several in the area, and I have general locations for where these things can be found. And if the group is up to the task, these are the 2 items that I need.
How soon do we need them? When is this?
Now. He's letting you know that, so, and y'all have spent enough time down here understanding now that, and Graven Hollow, the task, the visions that you saw, and finally the being able to, the time that you spent there, the things became more and more clear to you. The giants that were running it had no answer. They knew that time was running out. The visions are telling you that also, that the 2, especially this mushroom wedding that you kept seeing, is getting ready that will continue on. That will spell, if that continues to happen, just alone the madness that the spores, when they will mix and integrate with the forays itself, will spell the end of most of the races down here, without a doubt. Giving the oozes plenty of time also to do their thing, and then it will only be a matter of time before they then turn and will be unstoppable even against the overworld area. If the Underdark falls, it won't, you're talking this the base area of all the cities and great areas up above. It will not take them long to weaken the under areas, and everything in will collapse in, and they'll take the rest of the world.
Well, I'm guessing we're in, but I'll be back in just a second.
I have some questions for him.
Shoot, he will try to do his best to answer.
Okay, so the first one is, can our wizard teleport in and out of here with your wards as they are?
It may not.
So how far away from your tower does he need to be in order?
Oh, he can be right outside. He just inside the tower itself. He can move. If your wizard can do that, and teleport in and out, but he has, he can drop those for y'all. He doesn't have. He can see what's going on and out there. If I make sure I'm understanding what you're asking me and all that, but inside here, there's no, his wards.
Well,
and all that
not telling him that Dirty has that ability to go back to.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. He doesn't understand why you're asking it, but it would. Yeah, the outside is perfectly open. There's nothing warding it at all.
So you were planning on trying to get this plan into place even before you met us. Is that correct?
He says he has been studying and working on how best he has been trying to discern all of this, and whether it be fortuitous or whatever with the arrival of the group in Graven Hollow, and the things that begin to take shape and form there because of that mysterious place, the rest of the answers begin to come to him. And I'm not sure y'all remember this was starting to hit him and all that. Y'all were kind of, y'all were kind of the cause for these answers to come in. And he then, when he met y'all and all that, he then, you may not remember, but he had to quickly leave. Yeah. He was there briefly and then said he excused himself. And he will tell you, in that is because he came back here to check with his notes and what his findings that he has stored here that he did not want to take to Graven Hollow under just the guise that even of that great place in its mysterious ways, he wanted stuff kept under his control, not there. And he has been he's seeing the pieces and understanding that finally that it was Grump and this ritual that caused the issue, that he now thinks he understands that he can do the same way, but it will then banish him back. So
how did you get the feathers?
Ask our cleric.
Don't concern yourself with a puny mortal.
1 second.
Trust me when I tell you my methods are beyond your comprehension.
So I don't need to. I guess I don't need to know.
He will tell you that.
Was it by force or were they given?
There is a place called the Gallery of Angels. And it is in a cavern deep beneath the labyrinths of the Underdark and all that. And in this chamber area, in this thing, is a house of petrified 8 fallen angels that were condemned by the gods in the ages of the dark depths. And there were, he, sent some minions there. And with luck, a few were able to make it back out and the angels, those were the feathers were brought to them. And you will look, and he will pick one up. And even though it looked like a feather, you can tell that it doesn't move, the pieces of it and all that, that it is hardened. It's a stone feather.
Okay. And that's lining up with what I think I know about all that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can make me an insight check if you want, but you believe that he is giving you the up and up.
Oh, so without having to roll, I think he's on the level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is his plan then, when we do all of this, are you going to pull some kind of power out of this into yourself?
Not any power that because he has power. He doesn't believe.
Is he more of a conduit for the summoning?
Well, he's a drow, so he's a neutral evil type creature.
Because I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I find it hard to believe that his plan only has one layer.
Well,
right?
so
These guys are subtlety upon subtlety.
Yeah, but a clue I gave you earlier was you will remember he had a slight smirk and grin when he said he wanted to drop the damn thing right on top of Menza Bronson. Okay,
right, but I don't think we're actually going to go forward with that plan, right?
You don't know. I mean, you haven't said anything to him yet, but
that sounds good to me.
Well, I don't think we could get there because then we'd have to fight our way past all of those guys to deal
Unless
with.
he has a teleport into the city somewhere.
He will let you know that he does not. No, that's why.
Wait.
Uh-huh.
We have people who are chasing us, trying to recapture us.
They're dead.
Oh no!
Can this guy animate dead?
He asked what you asked that question, and he asked what is the reason of wanting to animate an undead creature. He wouldn't be able to get into Menza Barons, and he'll let you know that. It would never.
I had this girlfriend once.
So he will.
She lives in Canada.
You would kind of give him some of the idea, the plan there, and he would let you know that the wards itself then the undead would not be able to enter into the city then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I was just testing you to see if you knew that.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about letting our wizard go over the research that you have here to see if he comes to the same conclusions?
That he will not allow.
Wait, isn't there a big library here that we can just go?
No, you're in his
research.
not in his place.
Away.
No, you
No,
have to go
not
back
here.
to
Here, I'm just saying, like.
Well, yeah, but he had the note. He has the stuff here. He did not take any of that to Graven Hollow. He told you that he kept some stuff here, and that he has put what he believes 2 and 2.5 together to come up with 4.
Is there a reason why our wizard can't confirm your findings?
That is of drow knowledge and would be not something that even he would allow an outsider to look at.
What do you think about that? There, Dirty.
Can I look over his shoulder as he's talking?
Well, all you see on the table are these artifacts.
Okay.
Yeah. And remember he said he's got some note. That Grin is going to go get some stuff and pilfer it from Gromph and bring it back here.
Maybe we can talk to Grim.
Oh, he said that Grim is kind of a clever little prick, though. I don't know if he's willing to.
Clever troublemaker is what he called him. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk to. I don't.
Tomato.
Yeah, I mean, why not talk to Grim? Maybe Grim
I
will.
mean, that's your call. I think the whatever they're whipping up is above my.
I mean, has this guy done anything for
intelligence.
us to like, other than him being a Dro? Has he done anything to us or tried to
No.
mislead us
Nope.
or anything like that?
Mm-mm.
Like, I'm kind of thinking that maybe this is a self-preservation thing. Like,
I think he has an an ulterior motive, but maybe that motive is just to destroy the other drow that pissed on him.
You got to remember, you also got a Gromp. You got a vision from Gromp. What happened with Gromp, and you saw that he can, with his what Vizeron is telling you, that it was Gromp, and y'all saw part of the misfire, and at the end of it, it was this, as the howls and shrieks were coming from the abyss, and things were starting to open up from this portal or whatever, the summoning and all that. This woman's voice kind of echoed in your own mind, and Grump shrieked out, and so that's lining up at least with what y'all saw. He's kind of telling you this, and y'all remember that vision. And I'm just reminding y'all because that's what that was the first.
Do we
one y'all
remember
got.
who it was? The voice that we heard
Was a woman's deep dark laugh.
It was
If you
Loth.
had to guess, it was Loth. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm fully willing to believe that this guy needs us to do these things, and I'm fully willing to believe that he actually wants to banish these creatures. But I'm not willing to believe that that is the end of what he wants to get done. I think there's going to be a point where this is going to benefit him through he either is going to get a lot of power, or whether it's just revenge on their home city or something. His end game is not just what he's telling us.
Right.
I agree, but maybe his end game is just like we said, maybe just to destroy everybody who's wronged him. Maybe that's why he. But I also
that's not so bad.
No.
Yeah, I mean that's something I can relate to.
Yeah. I think that's Varys' goal too.
Yeah, and plus, if he gets rid of Menzo Baranzan, then good on him.
I can get low.
But I do want to talk to the apprentice, before the apprentice heads out. I would follow him if I could, because I just, I think maybe he's an apprentice and I'm a sorcerer. Maybe we could trade notes or something.
We thought you were a wizard, man.
Yeah, wizard, sorcerer. Come on,
you've been lying to us this whole time.
Yeah.
Well,
Fireball.
He's got a really high deception.
Vizeron is standing there. He's finished his.
He's actually a bard.
He says he goes. He knows it is much to think about, and he says you may return back to your chambers. I will have. There will be food in the kitchen areas that will be there shortly. And I will let your wizard know. Think upon it. Task. You may discuss, between yourselves in private. I will.
What is it?
He says, yes.
Is anything really private here?
Well, it's what he's telling you, and he will. Once you are, if have an answer or more questions, but time is of the essence. You may go outside and check. If you tell there is a stairwell, he will give you Dirtless, the power word that you can use to stand in the levitation circle. It will only bring you up to your chamber room. Mm-hmm. He will tell you that there is no stairwell between the third and fourth level. But you can use the stairwells if your companion so be it, or you can use it, and he gives you a long, dro, Fleming type word, lots of hard consonants and syllables in it and all that, and, that will allow you to come on quicker than having to run up and down the stairs, which will circle all, the big long circle stairway along the outer wall of the tower. But he says, when you are, have you made up your mind, please let me know, and I can give you the general directions that you will need to go find these last two items that we need.
And when does your apprentice leave?
He looks at Grin and Grin, kind of sheepishly says, "Very soon, Master. I was just finishing up packing and getting my proper attire ready and all that, and then I will do as you have asked." And Verazan says, "Yes, you will. Make it of haste. These adventures here haven't got time folly for such as yourself. Off with you." And he kind of picks himself up a little bit and slides, tries to move toward the slot, and the slot's kind of looking at him, and you see a lick of the lips kind of, when he looks at, Grin, and the slot will step aside and Grin will shoot down a stairwell. But Vizeron motions for all of you, and you'll see the purple orb thing will begin to form in the opening there, and he motions for the group to proceed. He basically is excusing y'all as he goes back to the table, and he takes his cloth and he basically pulls it back over the items, and then he situates himself, which you kind of see were some pillows and some little comfort area bound, and he kind of sits back down, crosses his legs, and he goes, "I will await your answer," and the group of you will step onto the portal area, and y'all are lowered down to the 3rd level where your rooms are at.
Okay.
And you see him sit down, and he closes his eyes, and he looks like he goes into some type of trance type deal. And the room goes definitely, black as you leave it. End of story. Next scene. Okay. All right. So y'all are back into y'all's rooms. Don't let the RP kill you.
Yeah. I'm trying to.
Well, we need some time to process what we heard.
I'm trying to. Dang it! I didn't.
Time is not on your side, cleric dwarf.
I'm chilling with Wobble, so I could care less.
So,
Wobble keeps looking up at you, Durless, going, "Why? Why me?"
Yeah. I remember a certain somebody
Yes,
saying they wouldn't be listening and we could talk amongst ourselves. So.
do you guys think a purple worm egg is going to be the easiest task?
Yeah, because that's just like right to our left. That'll take like a day.
Both
Maybe.
of the objects are what you believe. He says, yeah, he basically told you they're both kind of in. Well, that's a large area, the worm writhings, but it's all there. The last 2 pieces. God dang it, map.
Well, I'm just thinking that the grabbing that egg and getting out. I mean, especially with Ruckus having his whistle.
Excuse me.
How big is a worm egg?
Well, remember,
Fairly
I have
large.
I have that floating disc, and I can also cast fly.
A purple worm is a large, monstrous creature, and I will show you that you will see.
Yeah, but I mean, Alec, like gators get huge, but their eggs aren't necessarily.
You will
huge.
have walked through one of these tunnels.
Oh, okay. So it's a big egg.
Well, no, not necessarily though.
You will have seen you understand what they are, though. That the worm writhings are a honeycomb of tunnels. You will have been given some of this information, and some of y'all may have known it, in your experience, but that span hundreds of miles in the northern reaches of this area of the Underdark, and they're carved from the rock by enormous purple worms, and they have nesting grounds, and the eggs themselves are, let's see, I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Because I mean, you get what I'm saying about like relative to the like big giant crocs. They have eggs the size of my fist. Anacondas get 20 some odd feet, but they have eggs you know.
You don't know how big I don't think you guys know how big eggs are. You're going to find out.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is that even if these worms are ridiculously huge, their eggs may still be big enough or small enough for us to, like, you know, pick up, and one of us maybe can carry it. It's not necessarily absurdly huge as well.
I can turn into an elephant and carry it.
Oh, okay.
I got Tensor's floating disc that should be able to carry it.
Yeah.
But it will not be as fun as an elephant carrying an egg.
Yeah, true.
How does your teleport work, Dirty?
You mean my disc or what? I don't have teleport.
The one that you can teleport back to.
That's just him. Yeah, can't. Yeah, it's just him. It won't take. Yeah, you knew that it would not take anything else. It was just embedded to him and him only. Yeah.
Right, but it's whatever he has on his person, though, right?
If I can get it in my pocket.
Yeah, you had this. You don't know how big an egg is yet. So
Yeah.
Right. So what? Yeah. So I mean, all that will play out.
I don't think it would. I don't think it will take him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does it, when you go, how do you return? Do you return to something on one of us, or do you return?
It returns to the original location from where he left.
All right, so that
I leave and return naked.
And you thought one time, Hondo, that he left. He came back and you saw a shade of red that was Elvis on his neck, maybe.
That's fine by me. Why would that bother me?
Because you know it would. You know it would.
It wouldn't bother me at all. I'd be like, hey man, congrats.
Look at him. He's just blowing it all off. He's trying not to show that he's jealous. Oh, we had to work it in at least once a stream. Once a stream, I got to work it in. All right. So what are we doing, gents?
I guess we're gonna tell them we're in, right? But
Yeah,
I would like to go
downstairs.
downstairs.
What else are we gonna do?
I want to go find the apprentice, if at all possible.
Well, you can spend a little time down in the kitchen area because there's always a need to eat. And during one of those moments, you will hear some pitter patter of feet, and Grin will come around a corner area from where his looks like he may be actually staying in one of the servant areas. That most of the area looks like it's been abandoned. There's been not a disuse of the facilities, except back toward where he was at. And he comes around a corner and then he kind of stops because he was surprised and wasn't paying attention. And he sees the group there, and he basically, I apologize. I did not mean to disturb you. I will come back at another time. Excuse me.
I just wait. I want to talk to you, Grim.
He kind of backs up, but he stops and he looks at you.
As one wizard to another, what do you think of this plan we're doing?
Roll me a persuasion check, please.
You want it in the tower?
No, you're fine.
Show your failure right out in front of everybody.
Look at that. So he, you see that there is some nervousness in his face when you ask that, and he kind of look. You'll see him also kind of glance upward, up to the ceiling area and all that, and he say does not say too much because he hears, as he will not listen in, but mentioning of things will definitely echo through here and might alert. My master is a very powerful and smart member of the Drow Mage Council, but through our carelessness, he was nearly executed for his ambitions and exiled, such as was I too. Unfortunately, I one too many times took something that did not belong. However, I miss my home greatly, and anything, I understand if, he has a way of wanting to, a notion of the uprising and overthrow of the matron mothers is always something that the male drow wish and work for. And ending their rule is one thing, but my master, his vengeance seeks a level of malice that I'm uncomfortable with. He wants to turn our home and our city into a battlefield that the lords will truly destroy when they meet there. I believe he is correct in his assumptions that his magic will work on this. I can see it in his eyes that he's fairly certain. But he also is true, and I believe it is better if he were to cast this ritual in the chambers to the west of the worm writhings. There are large grounds there to which this can take place, and it will be upon us to make sure and work him and his machinations to cast this not in Men's Bronze but in the open area.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not. As you can tell, I point at myself. I'm not looking forward to going to a Men's Oberon's, and
he has, says I do not want to either, but I truly believe, I know I can get it. I have watched my master in his work and his beginning to craft and working on this talisman and needing these pieces. Now he's tried a few other recipes, so to speak, and has been unsuccessful. And I believe that now he's gotten closer because the rituals that he has been casting have got him, they have taught him. But I think the final keys, he may be truly correct that they are in Gromp's grimoire, and I can make my way. I have, let's just say, certain skills and knowledge that'll allow me to get in and out of there, and I should be able to do it with fairly ease by myself. And I will, bring it back here. It will be up to us then to make sure, if you successfully retrieve the ingredients that he needs, is that we will, make him try our best to make him cast it away. But you would never, I wouldn't, I think it's fool's folly if you think that you could, and your group, even with your numbers, get anywhere near that great city and all that's going on. It would spell your doom without a doubt. So you are correct. Stay away as far as possible from that city.
Oh, thank you for that information there. My companions and I wish you good luck on your travels. Get back as soon as you can, and we'll be waiting for you with our parts of the puzzle.
That was well stated, Dirty.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and he will.
I didn't know what else to
He
interrogate
says,
him for.
he will wish you, the group, the best luck. You will need it with the purple worms. One run in with them, and you
Ruckus's purple worm.
Ugh. He kind of. And he said, "I will excuse myself. I must be going. My master will know if I have not left soon enough." And he will excuse himself and venture into the darkness.
And bow and yeah. I'm like, what? Looking at him, could I rank his level? How
he's an apprentice.
Adapt.
Yeah. He's definitely got a ways to go. There's no way he could cast and understanding many of the complex things that Viseron could do. There's no doubt.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking. I didn't think he'd be useful to get any spells out of.
No, he does
He's
not.
5. He's level 5.
Yeah. 4, yeah.
Yep.
On a scale of 1 to 20, he's 5.
Yeah.
No, I have no idea what he is.
Yeah. Then I guess we're all in agreement that we're gonna take this task, and there's really nothing. We can't really do anything right now to set anybody else up. So I guess we just take it and kind of play it by ear on trying to get the I don't want to go to Mesobaronzan, so
I definitely don't want to go to Mesobaronzan.
Hey, but I do. I want to go there.
Yes. We'll drop
This
you
is
off
an
on our way
interesting
out.
place.
Well, you could actually make yourself look like one of them.
Do it.
Okay, so I think we should go tell him that yes, we'll take it.
Yeah. So,
Yes. Definitely.
and is this the kind of thing that we need to bring the
Oh yeah.
horde with?
You don't know. You will.
If only we
So,
had a
are you going
bugbear
to let? Do you
gladiator.
want to let him know first that you're in?
Well, yeah. I mean, what else are we gonna do?
I don't know.
Go home. Yeah.
You're the Deadbeats. You've got a marriage to go to.
Yeah.
I think if Kaz can't be part of the group anymore, that's what happens to him.
Kansas nerd on.
You know that your eldest would never have anything for a bugbear. Sure.
What does she know? Bugbear, dwarf.
You are her only heart.
We're a dime a dozen, and we all look alike.
You hear that in your sleep all the time.
That's not what the map says.
That's right. Hondo's name is ever scrawled on the map.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
All
So
right,
let's go get ourselves a worm egg. Or
Yeah.
something.
All right,
Let's
so
go let
you
him know
will,
we're in.
you will alert Viseron, and he will summon you'll see the purple shell in form, and y'all will make your way into it, and he draws you up, and he looks at you by, he believes, so you have an answer for me that you would like to give me?
Well, didn't you hear us talking? I'm pretty sure.
No,
you listened
no,
to
he goes. So what say you as a group?
We're in. We just we need more information
Yes.
about the egg. And,
Awesome. So
Let's go
he
get
will.
us some eggs.
Yeah, so he pulls out a map, and it shows basically you're back on our big map here, and he is going to let you know, and he kind of draws out, and he gives you the kind of extra where the worm writhing is, whole big old area. And there are 2 areas that you need to be concerned with. Inside, the honey, there's the trail, the miles and miles and miles of these, honeycomb tunnels. Would anyone get lost, without knowing exactly where to go? And there are 2 spots. One of them is where he believes a hatchery is at. And he's going to let you know that he believes it is somewhere here. And then he's going to tell you what he's going to call the vast oblivion. And he will tell you that it is a deep chasm, deep down and far, far down inside in the worm writhing. And he believes that this is where a great beholder has made his dominion. And that is
Like when you
where a true full-on beholder. Most of the ones that y'all have run into so far have been damaged, seen better days and all that. But a true, wise and ancient beholder has made its home down in the vast oblivion.
That's the only kind that will do?
Yes.
Because didn't we grab an eye from the other?
You need the main eye. You need the main eye, not a stalk eye. Yes.
Do you have anything that will help us counteract its potent magic, or is it up to us?
That is up to you. Because any damage to the eye will render the spell useless.
Yes.
So we have to
you
cut
wanted
off the
greatness,
stalk.
I've given it to you on a platter.
Yeah, I kind of want a mediocrity.
That wedding's looking better and better.
Well, maybe
I would have settled for mediocrity.
maybe I can charm the beholder. I think
You go ahead and try.
I think we
Yeah.
should try it when we get there.
Yeah, Varys will turn
Yes.
into a blue female
Beholder.
beholder.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
gonna need some
I will
ribbon
do
and
that.
some lipstick.
Yeah. Deep blue eyelashes, the whole deal. You know. Okay.
I'm going to go with that. I approve it. Yeah, I will do
Oh
it.
my
I will
God.
turn into a beholder, a
he'll do
female
it.
beholder.
I think that
Yes.
should definitely be plan alpha.
Oh my
And then
I will
God.
I'll have Ray's dead prepped and ready.
Oh no.
Prepped and ready. Yeah.
All
We're gonna
right.
go catch us a beholder.
Yeah.
So which
I think we
which
should do the egg first.
I was gonna say which
The egg sounds a little bit easier to me.
It does, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, because this is like big, full on, you know, like I got a picture of a damn beholder on my wall, and it's
Yeah, they just look scary.
yeah.
they're-
Yeah. Yeah. They are.
versus like just going and finding a chicken egg somewhere. I
Yeah,
think we can handle that.
An egg? Come on, what's difficult about
Yeah,
an egg?
how hard could that be?
Yeah. Let's go get the egg.
Yeah.
Famous
All
last
right.
words. How
Hey,
hard can that be?
All right. So he will tell you that you will head out of Raj, and that you will, if you're going to shoot for the egg first, you will be able to pass over the vast oblivion. There are several large walkways, basically rock bridges, natural rock bridges and all that will allow you to cross over the oblivion, and then make your way, like I said, to where the arrow's kind of pointing at there in the middle between the W and the R there on the map. But that is where roughly he believes that the hatchery is at. And from there, the
Does
best
he know
to
how
you.
big an egg is?
Fairly big. Minimum of, depending on the age, the size of them, the worm that laid it, they will start about 3 feet in diameter, and they can go even bigger. So, and they will weigh a lot.
So, yeah, but I think Ruckus can carry like 500 pounds or something.
He will tell you
my
also.
disc will carry 500.
Yeah,
pounds.
he will tell you also any damage to the egg will destroy, and you'll have to get another one.
All right.
Pretty
And
sure that's a universal constant with eggs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same thing with the
So-
eye. You were pretty much saying they've got to be intact.
Should
We're
we
gonna make
scrounge
an
up
omelet.
something to like carry this kind of heavy load so that Ruckus can?
No, I got
Put
that.
it-
I got that.
He's got the disc. He keeps told you that like four. He's
Yeah, I
got a
understand,
spell.
but-
Yeah.
But the spell is going to require us to like push this thing, right?
No,
It floats.
It floats behind me.
Yeah.
It stays within like 20 feet of me or something.
And is it a concentration spell?
It lasts 1 hour, so I can cast it again. 3 feet down, 500 pounds.
All right.
The disc is immobile while you are within 20 feet of it. If you move, it follows me. Basically, it stays at 20 feet from me.
Oh, so you could
So-
like run and
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
so if you, depending on what you're going to do, if you're going to go get one and bring, you won't be able to carry both of them,
Yeah.
but, you'll definitely think you can get one of them. You're going to find out. You don't know until you get to where you're going.
well, that's why I'm saying, should we make some preparations or should we just go?
Well,
Be
you've
like,
got
"Let's get-"
you've got the rest of your
We should've brought
retinue.
it.
So, but if you think you don't see how you're going to be able to something that is going to roll around. You're going to be going over really very rough terrain. You're going to be moving into areas outside of the tubes that the worms have crafted. But that might be some easy going. But the rest of your time and all that in multiple spots is going to be it's not something that a wagon won't make it. That's just what I'm trying to put. So
All right, so I'll just tell you what I'm envisioning, and I guess I was thinking like in World War II where they would load wounded onto the stretchers,
mhm.
and then there'd be a guy in front and a guy behind,
A gurney?
and it was kind of a canvas
A gurney.
over two
A
two
gurney.
poles. Well, not a gurney because it doesn't have wheels. You're actually
That's right.
carrying.
Yeah.
So
No, you
it's-
would have to fashion something that you've got in some of your minions. You think with all of them, unfortunately, they're not your slave labor, but y'all are apt to using them that way because Varus likes to have himself carried around all the time.
We're all in
So-
it together. So we're gonna. I would like to bring whatever is going to be required to make something like that.
And you've got the lizards too. Remember, you've got some lizard mounts, so they're going to help some too. So yeah, I totally get you. And you'll just there might be some times where you're going to have to prepare stuff. You have to there might be some spots where you're going to have to plan or make sure because if you
Absolutely
possible damages could be ensued in this campaign. Okay.
Right.
So so y'all get these plans and you spend another day or so getting the party indoctrinated and understanding of what's going on, even with some of the rumblings. Oh, here we go again. Oh my gosh, yeah. And y'all will begin to make your way out from Mirage, and you will have a good going until you're about what you figure halfway to where you think this nursery is at. And as y'all are coming through another large cavern area, a foul stench and cacophony of faint hissing voices or noises rise from up ahead, and the tunnels plunge sharply downward. What looks into a vast open cavern that actually is lit, but dimly, with some luminous fungi. And it looks like it's bisected by an underground stream. You see tall reptilian humanoids are standing on either side of this stream, and they are waving and howling. They're waving these what look like weapons, and they're howling some type of hissing language across each other. Every now and then picking up a rock, flinging them on and off, and you are watching this for a brief moment, and the group that's closest to y'all, you can see that they've got a captive, maybe, you can't tell, that's lashed between two stalagmites and at the top of this low rise on the cavern floor. That floor is probably about 20 feet below you down a steep but walkable tunnel, navigable tunnel, whose walls are piled high with rubble, this walkway. And both groups are, hissing very loudly at each other, that nobody's paying attention to y'all. And so y'all can douse your lights, you weren't detected.
Can we get a better look at the captive?
You will see that the captive, not from where you're at the moment. It's humanoid. That's for certain. And
So we can't discern Dro from Duergar from.
It's too dark. You don't think it's Dro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Want to move to the front?
Let me see. Hold on a second.
And how many lizard folk do we think are down there?
You're going to. Here, I'm going to put y'all on the map. Here's what you will. Oh, that's a pointer. So, and y'all are. Let me Right now, I'm just going to have y'all on it. It's loading. Y'all are getting the map right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Should have sent y'all to y'all. Yeah, it was. Making sure.
Yeah, it's loading up.
Yeah. Just got y'all. We'll worry about the minions later. So, but what you see is this tunnel, and it opens up, and y'all can't really see that far. But what you're seeing from this detected rise is there is you're determined watching for a while, and you can see that there are troglodytes in front of you, and there are a lot of them. In front of you alone, you've probably got 20 or 30, 22, 20, yeah, 30 on one side, and you see just as many or more on the other side. And they are hissing at each other, throwing stuff at each other. It, looks like, an all-out war could ensue here shortly. If anybody wants to make insight checks, they may. Oh,
yeah.
Dirtless. Oh, Hondo. Oh.
That's like the first roll in what, like 3 weeks?
Oh, there you go. Ruckus is going to discern.
He goes with a straight roll. Beats my +7.
Y'all stand there and listen to this, and you've got basically you can hear that the troglodytes. There's something about a Drow scouting party was in the area, and they are fighting. They killed this scouting party, and someone named what you think is Schlar claimed the sword as a trophy. But another troglodyte named Slot actually is the one that killed the Drow leader and should be the one that has the right to claim the sword in battle. And it looks like the troglodytes, and this is their home area, basically, that they have taken sides on each other. And you can see that on what looks like to be those who are in the group of Haslot are on your side, and those who are with Schlar are on the other side. And you can see what looks to be a troglodyte on the other side of the stream. Sorry, I'll give you a little bit more of the stream here. Kind of can't see. You're not supposed to truly see all the way. Is waving the sword, what looks to be, and shouting taunts and insults on the other side.
So Slot killed the carrier, and Schlar claimed it, or vice versa?
Yeah. What you're thinking is you're seeing and hearing that Schlar is the chieftain of the troglodytes, and Slot, who they're saying is the war marshal, was the part of the group that actually ambushed and killed the Drow. And so there is this: does the chieftain get the taken it unearned, or does the war marshal who actually did the kill, their group believe that he is the one, since he did the killing of the carrier of the sword, should be the rightful owner of it? And do you care? And just, it's an asking. So what you see before you is this. Now and you could see that, from where y'all came in, that, going through here is one way, or you're going to have to turn around, and it will add a great deal of time to try to backtrack and find another way through here.
Does anyone know what a troglodyte is?
A troglodyte is a tall, fairly large size lizard type humanoid.
Oh, I thought it was a person who lived in a cave.
No, the
Like us?
Yeah, we live in caves.
Well, I mean, we did see Dirty and Ruckus take out, a dozen or two, possibly three.
Yeah, I mean, I could fireball without a problem.
here.
Yeah. So
So
I
you
mean,
can
I just
kind of
don't know if we
see
want to walk around and kill everybody.
they're not this big, but that's kind of so you can see the token on the map.
yeah.
You know, it is a fairly large, stinky humanoid lizard.
Do we know anything about them? Are they pure evil? Are they?
Oh yeah, they're chaotic evil.
Oh, so there's not going to be any like negotiating.
You don't think? Well, you don't know, but yeah, you know.
So
You
we
have
need
no
to get
idea.
these guys to fight, and then we can pick up the pieces and possibly rescue the captive. That would be my 2 cents.
Okay. Yeah, I'm up for it.
Instigate a fight and then have Ruckus flank them and smash them to bits.
Or should I just fireball them?
Well, we want them to start fighting first, because if you fireball one group, we're going to have. They're
Okay.
all going to.
Well, Ruckus is going while y'all are done. Y'all were looking at the difficult terrain in this area and understand what's before you, and there's a lot of them there. And you're pretty certain that this is just a small fraction of what you're seeing in this complex, and this many riled up troglodytes, so there are a lot more in the area. But Ruckus is going to notice that you've got rubble piled up everywhere. On the rubble on the east side of the tunnel, he notices that there is possibly, he thinks he sees a tunnel that's been partially covered up by some of the rocks.
So we just ignore all this and kind of sneak our way through?
Just so you know, we're not going to sneak.
We're going to step
And you're going to, he's going to see, you're going to see.
I don't go anywhere quiet. I'm wearing too much crap, so.
Either way, I don't mind trying to walk around.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to save whoever that is, but the fate of the world is at stake, unless they're a dwarf.
Up to y'all. So I don't, they've fought some. They're in and out yelling at each other. You don't know what will happen. You will see on this little outcropping here. Whoops.
So we do have access to Kaz's very stealthy folk, right?
Well, everybody's there with you. The other.
So can someone find out what the race of the captive is? Without alerting everybody
as y'all
that
watch
we're
some more and all that, you will see that it's another troglodyte.
Oh, then I could give a shit. We
So we're walking around.
I mean, I'll be happy to try the tunnel to the side. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna try the tunnel to the side.
I mean,
All right.
I was expecting Ruckus to attack by now, but yeah.
I would make an argument if it was like a surface dweller or a dwarf.
Yep. You will see for a while, and there's one will hit the troglodyte from time to time. It looks like it's someone whoever it is, it's somebody that was a member of the other side of the stream.
Maybe if we rescue this guy, he can lead us to where we're going easier. That's the only thing I can think of.
Has that ever worked for us?
Never.
Rescuing someone and then suddenly they helping us?
I mean, basically, to
usually
rescue
kill 'em.
the guy, we have to commit like genocide.
Yeah.
They're up, so they're all up on that rise, and that you're going to see that there are 5 troglodytes up there standing around Slot. and they've got, that's a rise. It's going to take you, it's about 25 feet up in the air. So it's going to take you some, it's not something that you can immediately just run up to. It's going to take some time to get there, or you find other ways to move up quickly. And then there's another troglodyte that's standing next to the one that's been lashed between two stalagmites. So, it's not an easy thing to get to straight walking or run, moving along the ground. But like I said, you do have the tunnel.
Side tunnel.
Yeah. So you'll move to the side tunnel and it will go off. And
is that what you guys want?
Yeah, let's head to the side tunnel.
Okay. I don't want to make the decision.
okay. And it's going to come out, and what you're going to see when you're looking through the hole is a
Is it a warring faction of troglodytes?
no, it's a cave area. And no, you will see there is a troglodyte right here. His back is turned to you. He's looking out to the ruckus. I won't say ruckus. I can't say that because that'll confuse him. To the fracas that is saving people seems to lead. Yeah, that's right. They save people and they get romances, weddings. The greatest one that's going to come at the end of this episode. That's right, am I? There is a troglodyte. Yeah. Awesome wedding, shotgun wedding, baby. Because there could be little Hondos running around already. He doesn't even know about. Yes.
That would have to be like Immaculate Conception, because.
Oh, baby, we know better.
Hondo's impotent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was miraculously cured with the phrase in the area. It's, so anyway, the troglodyte is watching that, and y'all will notice the stench is horrible here. And you will notice why is that the cave floor all in this area is just strewn with bones all over the place. And there is a pit that you will see along that back area over there. And then to the due east, you see lots of steam, rising and coming through that after, and then kind of dissipates as it gets into the room. And then there's another, looks like an entrance, and just another tunnel going off to the northeast. It's not platonic.
And what? It's totally platonic. What direction do we need to go to get to the?
You don't know where the exit is in this area, but you would have to assume it's going to be on the other side of this cavern, wherever that's at.
No, but I mean, so are we? So right now we're heading.
You're headed. You're coming south, going north. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And we know we want to actually go
under the. We want to go right where that number 5 is, right? Because that would lead us under the river eventually, maybe.
I think it's going to open up.
That is where that is a yeah. Well, you can't tell, but the troglodyte is watching that area, keeping his back turned to y'all. You think you can see or look that he's watching what's going on, maybe in the room.
Do we want to have our stealthy guy kill him, or do we want to try and sneak by him? And I thought we could.
I think the best thing to do would be to have Ruckus go silently murder him.
Yeah.
That way we can go. I mean, we got a whole platoon of people sneaking in by, and my guys are all heavy armored like me. So.
And I have a shield guardian with us.
Yeah, you do have you do. Guys, so
it's not like he's quiet.
So I think if we can do a silent kill and then move as quickly through as possible, but I just don't think there's any way to actually stealth.
Yeah, let's kill
Ruckus, you up for a little murder?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, well y'all walk as y'all begin to move to the tunnel, you hear astonishment come from the group on your side, and you make out something. What was that? And the clatter of a rock falling onto the
God.
ground.
Damn it, Hondo.
That wasn't me.
Something's in the entranceway. See what it is.
I'll tell you exactly who it was. It was private. It was
What?
private. I don't know. I got these guys written down. Sylvian Havenor.
Damn you, private.
Sylvian Havenor.
So you think you hear something moving y'all's way from the main entrance.
Oh, so we got
to go quick.
Yeah.
All right, we're going quick.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, we were trying to stealth.
Yeah, we'll try and stealth.
Has this group ever gone quickly?
No.
Just asking.
I'm pretty sure that that whole Cholt thing was supposed to take years. We got it done in months.
Yeah. Yeah, we just break walls down.
So y'all move into the but yeah, this troglodyte's watching. Does y'all move into this cavern area, and you hear or smell, something is searching or moving around in the where y'all just left.
Yeah, Ruckus is going to murder that.
Yeah, he's going to murder him as we're continue through. I said we go straight.
I mean, if that's what we think is the best route, then yeah.
Can I get a token on the map?
Oh, for the troglodyte, it's just where that
just
5,
whatever.
That troglodyte is where that 5. Well, it's not really 5 foot with a map deal, but that's where that creature's standing.
You want something to attack, right?
Yeah, just.
He wants to drop his dice on.
Oh, well, you could drop him. I'll give you the drop on him. Unless you really want to try to,
No, that's fine. I'll go over to him and.
Yeah, you can see that he's looking at. Yeah, you can see that he's watching an area, and there's action going on out there in the main area.
Once I kill him, I'm gonna drag his body back over here.
Yep. Well, these are bones and all that are definitely of the humanoid. You're seeing thigh bones, leg bones. These are humanoid creatures, whatever they were eating. Some are gnawed on, broken in half. There's still pieces of flesh on them all. Some of them have rotted out. This, is a refuse.
We're in like the kitchen.
Yeah. Exactly. And y'all can all move inside there.
I can say that.
And you've got to the due east. You've got some hot steam is coming from through the corridor. You can see and it's very thick, but you also can see what looks to be something of like a flickering of like flame light or something through the steam. And then straight ahead, it looks like it goes off, and you see another corridor.
So do Ruckus and I get a sense of what the best direction to go would be?
Varus, stop moving. Are you outside or something, dude?
No. I'm in front of the computer. I'm sitting down, and I don't have.
It just sounds like
papers
your
on my
microphone
head.
is rubbing against something.
Yeah, rubbing, or you got a fan in front of you, like blowing wind. No. Your mic's like hitting you or something. Man.
I like to
Go
do
to push to talk,
check.
would you, Varus? Please.
It's just that I'm using the phone now.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, you can hear the wind blowing or something, or your heavy breathing. There you go. Okay, what was that question now, guys?
I like to do a perception check.
For?
Just what I can detect now that I've moved up here.
I will tell you. You don't have to do a check. Like you said, you're in a big room. It's full of bones, and the pit's looks like some dead bodies in there of some. Well, you can tell looks like they were There's some drow in there that are recently killed, and it looks honestly like a couple of dwarves too are dead down in there. And there are there's crap all over the floor. And rubble all piled along this area here. Just piles and piles of stuff. And then, like I said, to the due east is it blocks the view. It's very thick. For a moment, it looked like frays, but it's steam because you can feel the heat coming off of it. And then to the northeast, you looks like the rock hewn, and it looks like it heads off into another corridor or opening somewhere. And that's what you see.
Can we sneak to the ladder? Or do we go down the other one?
If you see the ladder from there, but you move into that area, you know that you can hear there are many troglodytes out there.
Yeah, so I think we need to either punch through the steam or we need to go the other way. So the steam is more to
Due east.
Southern.
Yeah, southeast. Yeah.
All right, and then north is the clearer one.
Uh-huh.
All right, so Ruckus, why don't you pick a direction and we'll move on.
Well, we just avoided that whole room on that side, so let's not ruin that.
Well, because the horde is searching for us behind us.
Yep, y'all are. You heard some movement back there, looking around, and then instead of doing all the work, you will hear movement to the northeast, and y'all move into that area. Oh boy.
Wait a minute. Okay, so if they're looking for us, what I say we do is we
Go through the steam.
spread out right here, like make some noise to lure them in here, and lay down in the refuse, like in the bones, and let them come through that tunnel. And once they're all through, murder them.
I mean, he's talking like there could be upwards of 50
coming through that tunnel.
Well, if there was like a couple of dozen on each side of the river, if they decided that there's an intruder and they wanted to put their disagreement behind them, we could be facing 50 some odd bad guys right now. Which, I mean, if you guys want to do it, I'm fine. We got, I don't know.
My question is, are they intelligent enough to get to that conclusion?
Well, they were fighting with each other.
Hondo, can you check that passage that leads to the southeast?
This one here?
Yeah, see what's down there.
So if I can move safely through the steam, then I'll move here.
Yeah, well, you begin to move into it, and you see thick jets of hot steam are kind of spewing through the area, filling it up. And give me a perception check.
Okay. Tower or
no, straight up, you're fine. It's not something you. Well, now he gets it. There you go. Okay. So yeah, you're basically you're getting close to the steam. You know that if you enter the steam, that you're going to start being scalded. That it's that thick and that hot, and so it's fire damage that you would be taking. But you will also catch that where the steam is there's several jets of it steaming out from the far wall over here. Oh, damn it, map. Move this so everybody can see. In a couple of sections of the map that you catch the glint of gemstones embedded in the rock. And light's kind of catching them. And there are some, there's a few good sized ones, some small ones. You see all these lovely, this from the dim light and the water that, the steam catching off of it, but see that. You make it out, but you also understand that when you move into this area at all, you're going to get the steam is that hot. It's going to burn you.
How Dumathoan tempts me. Yeah, so I'll give the group the signal that this passage is a no-go, and we should proceed on a different route.
And Banjo can move up to stealthily move up there, and is going to see a cavern area open up, and standing on guard duty, can kind of tell, are 4 troglodytes. Once again, they don't always keep their back turned, but they're moving on, but they definitely keep their attention pointed to the north.
So that sounds like the way out then.
Yeah.
So we should punch through those idiots and be on our way.
I mean, we can do that if you want.
Well, are you thinking of still hiding under the bones?
I'm thinking of luring all 50 in here and having Daedalus drop a fireball on top of them.
Oh, that you know that there's.
I think they
you
might be
hear more.
trickling in.
Yeah, you got more than that. You're in a layer. So, but yeah, you want to try it, sure. But that was just one small section of what you've seen so far.
I say we kill them, and then if they keep coming up behind us, then we lay an ambush. But
yeah,
right now there's like 3, 4, 5 different entrances they can come through.
Yeah, I think we don't want to get bogged down in a.
You will watch the tunnel way and while that and you will see some shadows and all that, but they have not come through the tunnel toward y'all.
Yeah,
okay,
so,
let's go forward and just kill these 4.
But you don't know how they knew y'all were there, though, or do you?
Well, you said there was a rock that got dislodged.
You heard a rock fall on the ground, yes.
Yes. So we assume that Varys threw a rock out there.
I can't say anything. I don't know. It's mysterious.
Yeah, he's probably not far from the truth. I guess I'll go first and try to take one of them out. As soon as
hold on, let me a second. He's going to make a roll. He's been watching this. I'm going to give him another perception roll.
As soon as I see an opening.
Okay, and he will stop. He will hold his hand up for a second, and he's going to point to up farther ahead, and he points to one of the troglodytes up to the front area, and then he basically he takes his fist and he sticks his thumb out and he puts the thumb to his lips, and he kind of looks like he's blowing on it, and then he points to number 2 up there, roughly you're kind of seeing, and then he puts his finger in his mouth like he's blowing on something.
So go kill the guy with the horn.
Yeah.
And I'll put resistance on Ruckus if he wants to fly up there and smash that guy.
The next question will be what is this damn place like? Let me find this.
So who do I kill?
Yeah, so mostly what you're seeing in the rooms, there is illumination through fungi, kind of, filtering the wall areas and the floor and all that. So you're seeing that. Most of the ceilings in here are, in the bigger rooms, 90 feet high. All right. The side tunnels and caverns like you're going through right in here are roughly 60 feet in height, and all of them most certainly all covered with stalactites. And you, in through this room, but you have noticed it pretty much from this, as you got closer, that there is the foul musk smell is permeating through the area, but it has not yet affected you and your constitution, for your internal fortitude has not been tested yet.
So, Duff, if I cast silence on the guy with the horn, So for the duration, no sound can be created within or pass through a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point I choose.
Yep.
So I could make that cast. It's 120-foot range.
Yep.
And then Ruckus could fly in there and kick that guy's teeth in, right?
Certainly. Why are you flying in there?
Do I need to fly?
I was going to
just
say,
walking here.
yeah.
Well, because I thought that flight gave you like double movement or something like that.
Oh, he's talking about you want him to go run all the way up to where the horn guy is and take that guy out. Gotcha.
Yeah, because he's got the horn. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's up to Ruckus.
They all look the same to me.
Well, number 2 is the guy that Banjo said had the horn that would alert the rest of the group and possibly the entire cavern that there's intruders.
Okay.
So if I drop silence on him, you bolt up in there and cave his head in. We mop up the remaining 3, and then we move on.
Okay. Show me the sphere.
It's a 20-foot radius. 1 second. Oh, sorry. I messed it up. There we go.
Give you more of the map so you can draw your circle.
All right. So I would drop this right on that guy's actual horn. And there it is.
Can you move that forward like 10 feet?
Forward? I think Duff might need to do it. I don't think I can.
Here, hold on a second. You're off on your map. Hold on a second. So let me.
Just.
He's wanting you to move it forward because he hits it. His horn's going to go silent.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. That's fine.
So you would do.
It's 20-foot radius.
Yeah, maybe like 5 feet behind them.
Oh, is this too big? Is it? It's this then.
5, 10, 15, 20. I think you're a little big.
You do it like this. Yeah, here you go. Right there. Isn't that radius? Isn't 20 foot from all the way across?
Radius is from the center of the circle to the edge.
Okay, so that's only 10.
That's half as big. Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah.
And he's wanting you probably do it something like this. Right, Ruckus?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
Okay, there's your spell. It goes off.
All right, so to coordinate it, I would tell Ruckus I'm going to cast it. I would let him know once it's cast because it'll last for 10 minutes.
Holy moly! There's a whole apparently
I guess we didn't get it.
I thought we were supposed to get that guy.
Man, that was I forgot.
We missed.
Oh my lord, that's funny. Delta Force and the raid. I apologize. We haven't had a raid in a while. We've been silent for a few weeks, and I'm like, we're talking horn. That was so funny. Oh my lord. Oh, that was so. I need to bring my volume down a little bit more. Oh, awesome timing there, folks. Welcome to the Rejects. That was pretty good. I appreciate that. We, like I said, we're the Rejects. We're in the middle of the Out of the Abyss with the Deadbeats. Happy holidays to everybody in your group that you've brought over. We appreciate it a lot. We shall put you on the list to return the favor. All right, so back to now that the horn's gone off, but that's what it would have sounded like. But unfortunately, Hondo has silenced the area and has told, apparently, that cacophony is that you want him to take off and go kill that dude.
That's the plan. I mean, Ruckus will do what he will.
Yep.
I mean, for all I know, he's going to pick up one.
So you have a surprise round. You have a surprise movement phase because of this, and y'all may execute it. Banjo will sit back with. Now we don't have the minions here. I mean, do you need them for 4 troglodytes?
No, we don't. I am going to give everybody the.
Yeah.
Golly. Delta Force with the cheer and the sub. We appreciate it. I truly do. Go ahead now, Ruckus.
I'm going to give everybody the hand sign for Bo
Okay.
like a range attack, and then I'm gonna start moving.
All right.
Yeah.
Delta Force, thank you. And check out the if you would like on our Discord server. Interested? Next week got a few days open. We're running a layer assault competition. I've got a few days open for people who want to sign up. We're gonna run 3 or 4 layer assaults, the same scenario, and whoever group gets the farthest will win a prize of some sort. And then the following week we're doing a Christmas one shot. An AAW Adventure of the Week one shot that we're going to run a couple of nights just to fill up the channel with some miscellaneous stuff. But there's the Discord server, and please check in. And if you have anybody or yourself interested and want to play on one of those nights that aren't taken up, feel free to sign up. We appreciate it. Okay, so sorry, back to that. Boy, y'all may proceed. Bows will be drawn out. Banjo's got his. He can fire, or you can, because as soon as you, gotcha, Delta. Okay. Yep, there you go. Good to see you then. We appreciate it. I've been silent for a few weeks, so unfortunately, we've been quiet and haven't been very active, but that's going to change the first of the year. Anyway, so you let him know when you want to fire away and make your movements, and away you go. Y'all can...
Okay, so I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna move past everybody, and then when I get here, I'm gonna take out my eagle whistle, and I'm gonna take off.
Away you go, and you will then, yep. And the surprises, the troglodytes, and you make your way up there. And as soon as you hit the circle, though, your cacaw goes, and squawk, and you hit the ground running. All right, and so the rest of you, what Banjo's going to fire? All right, Ruckus whacking away. Delta, reach back out to me then. Yeah, done a few other overlays for. Oh, you went ahead and killed him, Ruckus. You're so mean. Oh, we need music. I haven't got.
That was the plan. That was perfect.
I know, perfectly done. Let me get. I forgot Sirenscape. But check in also with some of the stuff I'm doing for the Blackmore Society. We're going to start streaming some games, but always looking for DMs and players on the Blackmore Society website. And check out there. And if you'd like to get interested and involved with that, please do so. Okay, we need some music. Sorry, I am just like totally off today. Well, usually I'm always off. Okay, so he whacks the troglodyte and crushes him. See how far behind. I'm not even that fast. So good. Well, we're going to start some industry games and some other games on a Thursday night, 1st of January. And so we'll get some more info out with that. We were just finalizing those details last night. All right, so Honda, what do you want to do?
Are you going to let me get off another action? I did cast the spell.
Oh, yeah, that would actually be your action. Sorry. Durless?
I'm going to try and take out number 1 here. I'm going to use Scorching Array.
Okay. You can move up, too, unless you want to, stay
well,
all the way back there.
I'll move up a little bit, but I'm not going to pass these guys.
You don't want a front line? What are you talking about?
Actually, let's put you guys here. Okay. Oh, sadness.
A better hit. That should take him out. Yeah. And that's pretty much all I'm doing. I just took out one guy that was bothering us, and I am done.
Hey, Varus, are you still weasel mode, or are you going to do something else?
I'm off whistle mode, and I conjure my noble spiders to the front.
Oh my lord, the spiders again. All right, 1 second.
We're gonna go visit Lolth. I'm trying to congratulate myself with
Loth? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just realized how quiet it's been since Varus put it on push to talk.
No paper shredding. No.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right,
it's not push to talk. I have to turn off the mic, so it's not so easy.
It's not as easy.
All right,
Sometimes I
see
end
you,
up
Delta.
talking by myself.
All right, so you're
Not for nothing, but those spiders have saved our asses on a couple of occasions.
Yes, that is true.
there are your
Yeah,
spiders.
mighty spiders.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it for
So
me.
you cast your spiders, okay? Banjo will fire at let's see, how many? He gets 2 attacks, right? Because I really gonna, yeah, he does. Okay, so he will take his longbow. He will shoot this one once, and he'll shoot again. Oh, dang, that's gonna hurt.
That's a
Yeah.
spider. He's gonna hump the spider.
If he survives. Oh, he survived. Yeah, he's barely standing up, and he staggers over to the spider. And the spider's like, oh, looking at Varus with contempt. Why me? As you,
I mean, we're doing the world a favor taking this guy out.
All right, that should have been everybody's action. So now we have roll for initiative.
All right. Dun, 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 dun.
Pull them out of here. Rosty and them are not with y'all anymore. Oh, quit. All right, is that really? And oh, I got to roll band. Bars, you gonna roll initiative? Oh, and you need. Do you want your shield guarding with you?
I don't think I need him with me for this fight. I'm gonna keep him with the
With the
Wobble the
group?
Weasel and the Shield Guardian there with
Okay.
the group.
Okay,
Some
good to
rear
know.
guard.
Yeah.
But guys, I'm gonna have to call it. It's pretty late for me.
Are you out for the night? Okay.
Have a
All
good
right.
night, Varys.
We'll finish
It's
this
almost
little.
1 o'clock.
That's fine. Okay, we'll finish this little encounter with without you, and then we'll call it a night too. Then, so we'll catch you. We'll plan on next Thursday again, unless anybody tells me different. Okay, just so we know.
Just put the spiders to the front and let them walk away.
They're getting dry hunched. All right, dude. We'll see you later, man. Thanks.
See you
One
later.
one
Take care.
spider's like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, he's looking. Yeah, that spider's been looking back at Varus on and off, and is quite upset.
Yeah, what'd you
so-
I
do?
throw kisses. I throw
Yeah.
kisses at him.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
See you,
good
man.
night.
See Var.
Later, Varys.
All right, so we will start up the combat.
I think
And
Spider gets his revenge, right?
yeah, he's gonna bite. Yeah, and this. Oh, we missed.
Oh, he's distracted.
The other one will move up here, and
Apparently it worked.
yeah, and since he's distracted, the spider will get advantage. Oh, there we go. He's gonna chop its head off, basically bites it right off, and they start to feast on the troglodyte's corpse. All right, Barst, and then Banjo is like, he's gonna, oh, that's just nasty, and he'll turn around here and he says, he basically will look at Ruckus and go, have you got this? Do I need to help you any? Ruckus? Ruckus?
Ruckus screams out for aid.
Did we lose Ruckus too? Probably did.
Ruckus is like, "Oh no,
No, I'm here."
no."
Yeah.
Help me,
Yeah,
please.
Banjo's going, have you got this? Do you need his help?
No, I'm good.
So
Oh,
yeah.
I totally misplayed that. Sorry.
Yeah, so yeah, Banjo's going to look down here and basically stop too once he starts to see, heavy streams of the steam, but he can't get close enough to see the delectable gems that Hondo's knows that's there. So he'll pass his turn to Ruckus. Ruckus may finish off the last. Oh, that'll do it.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Oh, he's still standing. Oh, not anymore. 1 point. That's what he needed. He just only needed one. Okay. The Yeah, there you
There it is.
go. So, but as you see this fighting, there is not an inkling of sound at all coming from where Ruck is at, and his yelling. You can see him, and there's just like it's just total silence. You just hear water dripping, drip, drip, drip. Okay, so
if they could talk, though, they would say, "Oh, we were sent to find you to help you."
Yeah.
All right, so we will hold there. You will move up. Ruckus can move up, and he will see this.
I just want to see.
Yeah, you're going to see in front of you is a cavern room. It is small. It's a small cavern that's filled with stalactites and stalagmites, making the cave floor difficult terrain completely. The whole area. There are no phosphorescent lichen at all in this room. So it is pitch black. And that is all that you can tell for the moment. Roll me, actually, I'll let you, since you were there, you may roll. Oh, I didn't, I'm sorry. Because
yeah, some reason all my modifiers were taken off. Flaming resistance, poison, and my
who knows?
bonus,
because, yeah.
My perception.
Roll me a perception check.
I just rolled 2.
Well, neither one of them are good. Okay, so you just saw a room. You're good. Okay,
yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
That's about it. So, we'll hold right there. A room.
All
there's
right.
nothing and there's nothing moving in the room. It's just an empty room, but it's full of stalactites and stalagmites, and so it's going to be half movement as soon as you get to here. Okay. All right, folks. We will hold our game for the night, gents. Right then and there. And
all right.
Until next Thursday. And I mean, I'll see if I can. I'll post up in the main lobby of the Discord server and see if anybody has an interest of taking over Banjo's character for Jack, since he's going to be out now. So we have a 5th player. So we don't have to run him. I have to run him because I think it's important that we do that. So y'all can at least have a fair game to finish out. Okay. Okay, folks. Well, that's going to be it for the night. We want to thank everybody's thanks for hanging out and harassing everybody, and for Delta for the raid and the sub. We do appreciate that.
Thanks,
we'll be back. Actually, I may stream tomorrow night. I'm going to be running a Friday night Lost Mines Found Over for beginner group. So
what?
Yep.
Like from the very beginning?
You're going back to the beginning for a small group.
Fantastic.
Yep. Yeah, I've always wanted. I'll always have one game going. But we're going to run the intro session. Ruckus, I know you got to get going, so appreciate it.
You're fine.
Oh, okay. But yeah, we're gonna beginner group. And may actually have I'm trying to see who's signing up. I actually have I think one of Free Walker's friends, young kid. Him and his same thing that Digital DM's doing. He's got, I think he's 15 or 16. He's going to play. So we're going to try to convert them early, start them at a young age.
Man.
But yeah. So, and some of them will be on cams. We're going to start doing cam games.
Cool.
But I want to do a test session with them and get them kind of started. But we won't start the real game until the first of the year. All the new games won't start back up. This group is the only one that's you're all the old timers now. So, and we'll continue forward and playing it out and just making the schedule work for our games with the other Thursday nights that are going to start taking up.
Yeah,
and from there we'll
cool.
Figure it out. Okay, folks, we appreciate it. We're going to cut it. We'll probably be on tomorrow night, and then I've got to post some stuff to see if the lair assaults are going to take off. If at least I don't think I have got one group. I wanted at least 2, so they're at least a competition, but we'll see. All right, we're going to call it. Thanks for watching. Everybody take care, and we'll see y'all later.
All right, see ya.